Even if you're unfamiliar with this singer, you've probably heard her voice. This vocalist, unquestionably one of the most talented one-hit wonders of the rock period, reaching the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 charts in 1963. Unlike many soul performers at the time, this vocalist created the majority of her own material and had previously written for other artists and sung backup with Dion, Dee Dee Warwick, and Cissy Houston on New York soul songs before venturing out on her own. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Doris Troy. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Doris Elaine Higginson in the Bronx, New York, the daughter of a Barbadian Pentecostal minister, Doris Payne was the name she adopted from her grandma. Her parents did not approve of subversive styles of music such as rhythm and blues. Therefore, she began her musical career singing in her father's choir. Just like many singers, she was interested in secular music and decided to pursue it anyway. She was 16 years old and working as an usher at the Apollo when James Brown noticed her.
How did you start in the business, Doris?
Well, when I was a little kid, I started in the church, in my daddy's church.
Yeah.
And when I got to be about 16 years old, I went to the Apollo Theater, and I saw Pearl Bailey, Josephine Baker, all of these superstars. And I said, Mama, I want to sing. Mama, I want to sing. And
Family musical as well,
yeah, my mama could sing, and my daddy could preach and sing at the same time.
Yeah.
He was a fabulous preacher. Yes, he was.
Doris Payne began writing songs and received $100 for the D. Clark hit. How about that in 1960? Troy began singing backup to gain a consistent income and joined Atlantic Records in 1963 alongside Cissy Houston, her cousins Dion and Dee Dee Warwick. The Sweet Inspirations, as they were known, provided backup vocals for The Drifters, Solomon Burke, and other renowned performers. In 1963, she released Just One Look. This charted number 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts.
And away, oh.
After writing Just One Look with Gregory Carroll in 1963, the duo took the demo to Jerry Wexler of Atlantic Records, who immediately signed them. The record was released under the name Doris Troy, as Higginson changed her name to Troy after the legendary heroine Helen of Troy. Just One Look was a smash success and was later recorded by The Hollies, Faith, Hope and Charity, Major Lance, Linda Ronstadt, Brian Ferry, Anne Murray, Klaus Nomi, and Harry Nilsson in a duo with Linda Lawrence. Unfortunately, Doris Troy was never able to match her first hit. Troy's only foray into the UK singles chart, What You Gonna Do About It, which peaked at number 37 in December of 1964.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? I'll love you.
In 1968, her single, I'll Do Anything, was released in the United Kingdom on the Toast label. Troy traveled to London in 1964 and fell in love with the British music culture. In 1969, she relocated to London, where she was signed to the Beatles' Apple Records label and released the Doris Troy album the following year, which was co-produced by Troy and George Harrison. Throughout the 1970s, she cooperated with British artists and built a devoted following. Elton John, who was not well known at the time, accompanied her on piano during a live performance. Troy appeared at Ronnie Scott's club and recorded a live album, The Rainbow Testament. Neither The Rainbow Testament nor her People Records album, Stretching Out So Well, Troy sang backup on George Harrison's hit, My Sweet Lord, Carly Simon's You're So Vain, and Billy Preston's album That's the Way God Planned It, returning to the US. In 1974, she shared the stage with Otis Redding, Rufus Thomas, and other noted artists. As her solo career peaked, she continued to sing backup for multiple artists and bands. She contributed vocals to the Rolling Stones' 1968 song, You Can't Always Get What You Want, Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. In addition, she also sang for Humble Pie, Kevin Ayers, Edgar Broughton, George Harrison, Johnny Hallyday, Vivian Stanshall, Dusty Springfield, Nick Drake, and Junior Campbell. Troy returned to the United States from England in 1974, where she played in casinos and nightclubs. The musical, Mama, I Want to Sing, is based on her life and was written with her sister, Vi Higginson, a well-known New York City radio personality, and her husband, Ken Wydrow. It lasted 1,500 performances at the Heckscher Theatre in Spanish Harlem. From 1986 to 1999, the musical toured Germany, Italy, and Japan and was performed at the West End Theatre in the UK. Troy played her mother, Geraldine. Chaka Khan played her mother's best friend in the London production, as did Denise Williams. Mama, I Want to Sing was also made into a motion picture starring Ciara, Patti LaBelle, and Hill Harper, which was released in 2012.
All right, and you've got a musical that you were going around with, which is about your life story, isn't it?
Uh-huh. My younger sister, Vi Higginson, she wrote it, directed, and produced it, her and her husband. The show's been running for 12 years now.
So what, did you play the part of yourself? Or?
No, I played the part of my mom's show. And then Chaka Khan played my mama's best friend. She was my best friend.
Really?
She sang her heart out, too.
Yeah, so then she went on doing numbers and stuff like that?
Oh, she did the whole thing. She was fabulous.
Health problems with her respiratory system forced her to move from New York to Las Vegas, Nevada for the dry desert climate. She continued to perform in supper clubs and casinos. On February 16, 2004, at the age of 67, Troy passed from emphysema at her home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from Doris Troy?